The Chicago Bears brought in free agent safety Kevin Byard for a visit yesterday. I believe the Bears will sign a free agent safety in the next few days. This year's free agent safety class is setting up perfectly for Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears, and they are already getting a head start, signing Tavarius Moore yesterday and bringing in Kevin Byard for a visit. The reason they were able to bring in Byard early is because he was cut last week by the Eagles. Players cut early do not have to wait until free agency to look for new teams. The rest of the free agents have to wait until Monday. Ryan Poles seems to be aware of the value that can be had this year at the safety class. A ton of big names on the free agency list when it comes to this safety class. I talked a few weeks ago about some of my favorites. My top two targets would be Xavier McKinney from the Giants or Julian Blackmon from the Colts. Both are perfect fits to me. Young, athletic, upcoming safeties that could take our secondary to another level. There are a lot of other free agent safeties I like a lot as well. Cam Curl, Jordan Fuller, Geno Stone, Jordan Whitehead would all be nice upgrades. But this year's safety class is getting some late, unexpected additions as well, with Justin Simmons, Micah Hyde, and Kevin Byard all being released recently. This year's free agent safety class is now overcrowded, and most likely Ryan Poles will be able to get one of these guys on a value contract. Not all of these safeties are going to get the money they want this year. It's a buyer's market if you're looking for a safety. To me, I think it's a perfect year to need a safety. You have to remember that this list also includes Eddie Jackson, who we just released as well. Speaking of Bojack, I'm not against the idea of bringing in an older safety and then drafting a young guy to learn from him. We have a very young secondary, so having a guy like Justin Simmons or Kevin Byard on the back end could make our young guys even better. I don't think it's a secret, though. Ryan Poles is looking to add a new safety in the next week. I love this. It's the biggest hole on our defense, and if we can get a new safety via free agency, it opens a door for a very offense-heavy draft class. I think we need an infusion of young talent on the offensive side of the ball, and this year's free agent class looks perfect to add a new safety. I expect Ryan Poles to get it done. But let's talk about Kevin Byard a bit. He's the first big-time free agent that Poles has brought in for a visit. He's a veteran free safety, 30 years old, the same age Eddie Jackson was, but the difference is he hasn't been hampered by injuries like Bojack was. Byard has not missed a start since 2016. He's a two-time All-Pro and two-time Pro Bowler who spent his whole career with the Titans until he was traded to the Eagles last year. Now he's been cut and he's a free agent, and Ryan Poles did not waste any time bringing him in. He has 28 career interceptions. He's a playmaker who's graded out very well versus both the run and the pass. He's also athletic, scoring a 7.9 on the relative athletic score, but the best part of his game is he's a very sure tackler, something we were missing with Eddie Jackson. Last year, he missed only 4.7% of his tackles on the season, compared to Eddie Jackson, who missed 15.6% of his tackles last year and 14.4% on his career. Byard is a much better tackler who has more production, more interceptions, and he stayed healthier. He's the same age as Eddie Jackson, but after being cut, he might take a bargain deal. I like Kevin Byard, but I do think there are some more exciting options on the market. To me, he'd be a perfect plug-and-play starter that would round out our secondary perfectly while also being able to save some money on a value contract. Byard has nearly double the interceptions that Eddie Jackson has, including 10 in the last 3 seasons. He even had a better career year than Bojack did. We all remember Eddie Jackson's sophomore season. He had 6 interceptions and 2 pick sixes. Kevin Byard had 8 interceptions in his breakout sophomore season. A lot of comparisons between him and Bojack. He's just been more productive in nearly every category than Eddie Jackson was. If Ryan Poles decided to go this route and sign him, I couldn't really argue against it. I will say this though, signing a player like Kevin Byard would hint that Ryan Poles wants to win now. I think this free agency period is going to be telling. And then finally, I wanted to explain in a little bit more detail why the Bears were able to sign Tavarius Moore yesterday and bring in Kevin Byard for a visit today when free agency doesn't begin until Monday. I saw some people in the comments were confused about this. So players who are set to enter free agency are not allowed to meet or talk to any teams until Monday. However, players that have been cut or waived recently are able to sign deals right now. So for instance, the players we cut, Eddie Jackson and Cody Whitehair, they are able to meet with teams today and could even sign a contract. This is something the NFLPA did to help veteran players find new homes after being released. But teams are only allowed to talk with players who have been cut. They have to wait another 48 hours until Monday, when the NFL's free agent frenzy begins, to actually talk to this year's free agent class. Ryan Poles has already showed that he's interested in looking to upgrade us at the safety position. I expect him to sign a safety and tight end relatively early, and then I think he's going to add to the trenches as well. A lot of people seem to be hinting that Ryan Poles could be planning to make another splash addition to this defensive line. I've seen way too many people predicting Danielle Hunter, though. I don't think that's the option that Poles is going. I could see Jonathan Greenard or Bryce Huff being targets, but Danielle Hunter, I don't see it. The crazy one is Christian Wilkins. His name has been mentioned a ton. He's probably going to get a massive contract. The real question is Poles willing to invest that much more into the defensive line? I'm not sure. The NFL offseason is officially here, though. With more breaking news, the Denver Broncos have traded Jerry Jeudy to the Cleveland Browns in exchange for a 5th and 6th round pick, pairing him with Amari Cooper. That's a nice idea for the Browns. They acquired Amari Cooper for just a 5th round pick 2 years ago. If you missed it last night, the Bears did sign safety Tavarius Moore. Check out my video on that if you want more information on him. Also, Patrick Skells was extended for another year, and so was receiver Colin Johnson, the 6'6" wideout, which could hint that Equanimeous St. Brown will not be returning. I liked ESB, but his problems staying healthy last year hurt his chances of coming back. On top of that, he was more of a Luke Getsy guy, and he simply didn't produce. He had 385 yards in his 2 years with the Bears. He was actually a surprise in 2022 with 21 catches, 323 yards, and a touchdown. But he couldn't stay healthy in 2023, and he caught just 5 passes all year long and failed to get in the end zone. I hope ESB lands somewhere, but it looks like he most likely will not be back with the Bears. I have a couple more free agency preview videos on the way. News could be breaking at any time, as Ryan Poles' phone will not stop ringing. Stay tuned, turn on those notifications so you don't miss out, and until next time, bear down.